The FBI now says there are hundreds, if not thousands, of ISIS sympathizers in the United States, many communicating with the terror group using encrypted technology. That means law enforcement isn't looking for a needle in a haystack anymore, but now they have to search for an invisible needle. According to the FBI director, they are being told to kill, 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 kill. Former FBI Deputy Director Danny Colson joins us now from Texas. Mr. Colson, appreciate you being with us, sir. As you look at what happened in Garland, Texas, clearly these guys were inspired in one way or another by ISIS, yet thankfully they didn't succeed. They were killed. They were only able to wound one security officer. How far away are we from one of these guys actually being able to succeed?
No, I think we're very close. If it weren't for the courage and the preparation of the Garland PD and the FBI, they clearly would have succeeded there. We got a break. The FBI knew, had some information about these people, and they were at least monitoring. They weren't surveilling them. I think the director also came out with some statements about more people are going to be actually surveilled, which is a very labor-intensive operation. But sooner or later, they're going to hit. This is not a bank robbery gang we're looking at. This is a movement of people dedicated to the philosophy of killing us and imposing Sharia law here. So I think we have a lot of trouble coming.
And the FBI director seemed to allude to that. I want to put up the quote from FBI Director Comey. It's almost as if there is a devil sitting on the shoulder saying, kill, 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 all day long. They are recruiting and tasking at the same time. He goes on to say that this is breaking down the paradigm between inspired and directed. What does that mean?
Well, basically, some are directed. Al-Qaeda directed the attacks on 9/11. They clearly directed them and financed them and implemented them. Now what we have is more of a philosophy. This is like a great tsunami of philosophy that's directed against us. So you don't have to be directed. You can just be inspired by them. And it doesn't take a lot to be a terrorist. It doesn't take a lot of training or preparation to grab a gun and go out to a mall and kill people. So it's very frightening because it doesn't take a lot of preparation to get ready for these things. You have some guy that's inspired by them, he goes and gets a gun, a rifle especially, then that's a big problem for law enforcement and private security both.
In the case that we're dealing with in Garland, Texas, Alton Simpson, they knew who he was. Evidently there was a memo or an alert put out in the hours before this attack. How many folks do you think are out there that the FBI doesn't know about? What are the unknown unknowns, if you will?
It's hard to predict that, but I would have to say it's probably into the hundreds, at least maybe thousands of individuals that are inspired by these. You take a person that's an inadequate personality, he has no connection to anything positive in his life, and somebody comes along and says, God wants you to kill people. And then he takes that as a message. And if God tells them to do it, sometimes they act on that, and then that's a big problem for us.
And when you go to that, is there any way to stop these folks? Is there any type of surveillance? Is there any type of intercepts? Or at some point are we just going to have to live with the reality that between social media and the ability to have these encrypted communications that this may become a fact of life?
Well, the FBI can only investigate what the Department of Justice allows them to. And the guidelines on international and domestic terrorism have been adjusted so it's harder for the FBI to do things. I think you'll see them lighten up, but also a lot of it has to come from citizens' awareness and from local police departments. A lot of the FBI's information comes from people, private citizens like you and me, who see something or hear somebody say something, and they bring it to the attention of law enforcement. We're all in this together. It's not the FBI protecting us or a local police. It's us being aware enough that we can help those agencies do their job.
Well, and in the Garland case, at least the folks that knew these guys and knew Mr. Simpson said that they didn't think he would ever do anything like this. Hard to say something if somebody doesn't give you a hint. Danny Colson, former Deputy Director of the FBI, we appreciate your insights, sir. I know Molly is going to have more coming up on the surveillance in just a couple of minutes. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.